Excited to be with you today on a Saturday looking at healthy boundaries. So write in the chat if this relates to you and how it relates to you. Anything you want to share about yourself and boundaries, I would love to know. Um, I last minute remembered I hadn't done a picture to show you the pictures we're going to do, so I didn't even test it. But you guys can see my 1 minute picture pretty well, right? So no big artistic needs today, but if you do have paper and a pen, it might be fun to create a visual for yourself. You can go much more in depth than mine, but it's good to have a simple, clear picture. Okay, so I love what I'm seeing written in from Lisa. Energetically, I need to put up protective boundaries. I need to have boundaries with my children to encourage independence. Great. In some areas, again, children, I'm going to be an observer today. Yeah, well, we're all going to be learning together, but you actually won't be in any breakout rooms. So you're going to do this process today for yourself. And I'm going to be sharing slides with you so you understand every step that we're doing. And the more you share in the chat, the more we all share the energy together and we understand each other. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and share my slides a minute with you guys, and I'm going to go back and forth between having the slides open and not open, but I'm going to say welcome again just for the sake of the video. So welcome to our workshop today. We're going to be working with creating healthy boundaries for ourselves, and we're going to all contribute to help each other do that. So I am wondering who feels like they are great at boundaries. They've already got them. It's okay for you to be here. You will help all of us. So it's okay to have good, strong boundaries. It's a great thing. And sometimes we might feel like we're too boundaried. So I want to know what that would feel like. Even if you're not too boundaried, imagine what would that be like? What would it be like to have such strong boundaries? What could happen? Freedom, joy? Yeah, sure. It could totally give freedom and joy. Peace? Oh, could make someone feel alone. Absolutely. More love, relaxation, self-preservation. My freedom will be restricted. Patience. It can feel too strong, could shut off from compassion, too rigid and not free enough. Yeah, these are such great observations. So often if someone has too many boundaries, we might feel something in their presence. We might feel a lack of openness, right? The personal experience might be all those things that was listed in the chat plus more. And also just does anyone come to mind for you that's overly boundaried that you can think of in your life? And I think we do this with compassion because there's usually a very, very good reason to have very strong boundaries. And it's usually a fear of letting things in, right? At some level, there's a fear or a resistance or a learned way of being that says I need to keep things out, right? But I like to also have those people in mind because they're great teachers for us. So on a personal level, just last week, I was with a relative of mine, one of my nieces, and she would probably never say she has great boundaries, but I experienced her in one area of life having such great boundaries. She rents a house and she rents out 2 rooms in her house to other roommates. And one of the roommates was really challenging her rules around living together. And what this roommate was asking was very reasonable. She wanted to have like a work chart but this was not my niece's way of doing things. And she'd been very clear and upfront. There'd be no like chore charts, none of that. We're all adults. They're in their 30s. We're not going to do that. We're going to all be responsible for our own things and our own cleaning. And as I was listening to her, she was so clear. And then she shared her communications with this roommate. They were so clear. And I was just like, I was wowed. I maybe would have gone more on the side of the roommate's desire and reasonable request, but I was so impressed with my niece for holding such clarity about her rules and what had been agreed on. And they worked it out. The good news is they worked it out because there was such clarity that both could listen to each other. They took a couple days from the heated discussion, listened, and decided they could continue to live together. And I think that came because of such a strong intention for clarity. And when one of the things that boundaries, healthy boundaries can do for us is they make it very clear what we're doing with our time, with our energy, and they make it clear to the people we're in relationship with. Because a lack of healthy boundaries is often goes hot, cold, strong, weak, and the other people or the other like habits on the other side of those boundaries get confused. So at a very basic level, unhealthy boundaries cause a lot of confusion for both the inner person and the people on the outside. So let's and one thing I want to note too is that, like, you know how I said my niece probably wouldn't say she has healthy boundaries? We might all be like that. We might notice that in some parts of our life, we have very clear, healthy boundaries. But in other parts of our life, that doesn't necessarily transition. So just notice in your life, is there anything right now already that you can identify as a part of your life that you have clear, healthy boundaries around? Like the funny thing is for me, it's my work. Maybe, well, maybe not. I don't know. But like I don't let a lot get in the way of my teaching or my coaching. Like I'm very prioritized about that. Maybe you could say I overdo it sometimes, so that wouldn't be as healthy, but I honor it and I take care of it. I prioritize it. But then other things, like if you see, and I'm being really honest with you guys, my health, I do a lot. My friends would say I do a lot for my health, but I feel like that's the area that today I'm going to keep in mind to keep in the center for me as what I'm working on. And we'll get into the pictures and the words too in a little bit. Yeah, I love it. Some people there are recognizing what they do have good boundaries with, and that's really important. And by the way, this is all, this whole process you can do with a client, you can do with a group, as well as with yourself or helping a family member or friend. It's all very accessible. Nothing is difficult that we're going to do today. I say that, but I want you to tell me if something feels difficult. Okay. And I'm going back to my slides because they work to guide me in what we're doing. So let's just notice the purpose of boundaries in general. You may have already been doing that. What do they do? Do they, keep some things out, help clarity? And notice what images or words do you get for yourself of what stays out and what stays in? Just be aware of that. Maybe you want to write it down. Maybe it's images, maybe it's words, maybe it's feelings. It might be an emotional feeling or it might be a felt body sensation. So today I'd love you to track. Are you more experiencing things in thoughts and words, images that are thoughts, feelings like emotions that you can feel the emotion, or body sensations that are also a kind of feeling or thought? So just be aware of those 4 different levels, what shows up for you. There's no right way or wrong way. They're all really important and it's just good to know. And then you can ask yourself to get it in another way too, if you want to, or be very comfortable with your way of receiving information. Okay. So let's just allow our body to help us feel an emotional boundary for a moment. Okay. Just quick exercise. Can you cross your arms and lower them like over your belly button if you can, kind of low down crossed arms? That is like actually on an energy body level, giving a message to the world not to get into your gut, to your place of power of digestion. And then if your legs are really open, see what it's like to bring them a little closer together, touching your feet together, your knees together, and just feel that central line in your body. And it's in a way a closing in, but it's also a really coming closer to center. So that's how I like to think of it, coming closer to center. And I'm going to lead you through a little bit of a more meditative process right now that I'm going to share with you guys. So let's go to creating our inner sacred landscape for a moment. And this can be in a room, in nature, wherever you want it to be. And I want you to notice when you're creating your inner sacred landscape, do you imagine it in front of you, inside you, behind you, to your side? Sort of just you imagine that you're in it. Notice how you imagine this landscape. And let yourself notice little glimpses of seeing it, or maybe you quickly go right into it. Honor your own way of imagining. Perhaps there's things you hear, and you're being creative here. There's no kind of mystery to this. You're using your imagination as though you were telling a story or writing a story. So write the terrain of this landscape or place. It could be a building, could be a library, a cafe, a forest, a beach, a garden. And just notice what the ground is like or the floor. Notice the colors and start to breathe with it. Start to slow down and just let yourself breathe and imagine. This is a wonderful place. Let yourself smile, smiling on the inside, feeling what you like about this place, appreciating the details. Maybe there's a beautiful breeze or a lovely flower that you smell. Perhaps you hear sounds. And notice the quality of the light. See if you want to sit down or lie down in this place, or walk, or stand, or swim, or fly. And as you choose your place there, just letting yourself call in support from non-ordinary reality now. This could be guides, angels, ancestors. You could go straight to the universe, source, God, whatever your word is, and invite support for yourself to really connect with this wonderful place. It could be that you invite nature in, metaphors from nature like waterfalls or rainbows, bird song, and just feeling that support and breathing with it, taking your time. When you exhale, see if you can exhale even more and let yourself sigh if it feels good to sigh with every exhale. And allowing yourself to ground your energy, just imagining roots going down into the earth. Your helpers in non ordinary reality are around you. You're still in your wonderful place, breathing and grounding your energy. Perhaps you want to put a hand on your heart or your belly or your legs. And just noticing how easy it is to feel a little bit more secure, a little bit more settled, relaxed. And then, just as though you were turning a light on, like a light that has a dimmer switch that you can make a bit brighter. See what it's like to make your inside experience a little brighter, turning up that light until you're glowing inside. And you might feel it, know that you're glowing, you might see it. And just imagining that this inner glow is expanding out about arm's length in every direction. You're just a beautiful glowing bubble of light. This bubble of light surrounds you all the way around in front, around your sides, below you, above you, and it's such a safe, wonderful place to do transformation today. It's such a lovely energy boundary that you've just created. So just acknowledging how free you are in this bubble, filling your bubble of light with any qualities that you wish to include. And knowing that your bubble of light is also grounded, it's not floating away. You're present within it. And at any time, you can bring it in and imagine it just the way you want to. You're always in control. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. And we're going to just go on with our workshop. If you got any images or sense experiences you want to write down, write them down. Maybe you're writing by hand or in a computer doc. And now we're going to look at what's most important to you, what your goals and intentions are. So again, I'm going to share my screen with you. And we're going to just ask ourselves some questions we can answer either internally or write them down. And here you're choosing the thing you're going to create boundaries for today, healthy boundaries. So this could be a thing like an activity, it could be a person, a relationship, it could be a time in your day or week, it could be an ability that you're fostering, or some kind of space in your life, a part of your life, a part of you that you're prioritizing. Like for me, I had health. For someone, it might be meditation or sleep or creativity or a project you're working on. So just choose one thing today, one thing. Take your time and write it down. Write down what that one thing is. And if you're using a drawing, make a circle and put it right in the middle of your piece of paper. Write the word that it is in your circle. If you want to add a little drawing or colors or anything you want, go for it. And when you're done, see what it's like to make a circle with your hands, if you feel like it. I wore circle earrings today thinking about boundaries. So it's about circles. I often feel that these processes are directly connected to a shape, and today's shape is the circle. So let's feel into our wish to protect this thing, whatever you've chosen. Feel into your wish to protect it, to honor it, to prioritize it. What's that like to feel into that? If words come, you can write them down. Maybe there's a symbol you have for it. Like, let's say you were working on a project to remodel your home, and your symbol for it was a house. Or let's say it's a relationship, and you immediately think of a symbol for that relationship, like could be anything, a spiral, a heart, a star, a hands together. What comes to you as a symbol for the thing that you are prioritizing, protecting, creating a boundary for? And maybe you want to let your body help you feel it. Just honoring the presence and the importance of this in your life. Imagine in your own way, and I want to give us a moment in case I'm going too fast for anyone. You have your word for what you're prioritizing, protecting, creating a boundary around. You've allowed yourself to come up either with a physical symbol like a movement or an image. You might draw it simply, or if it's just the word or the knowing, that's perfect. You don't have to have a symbol. But now we're going to let our body feel it like we're holding it. So as we do this, we can just take our hands and literally imagine holding that thing, whether it's a part of us, a part of our week, a relationship, an activity. Hold it in your hands and just breathe and be with it for a moment. Maybe you want to talk to it. Tell it why it matters to you. And you can be silly. This is on the inside of your experience. You matter to me because I care for you, because I want to prioritize this part of me or my life or my project or my person, because whatever it is. And if it feels like too much, let go of it. You've done a good job. But if it feels like you want to go a little further, see what it's like to take what you're holding, feel its presence, and bring it closer to your heart or to your belly or wherever in your body you want to feel it a little more, centering it inside of you. You're doing amazing. Okay. So we've done the first part of the process, and I'm curious if anyone has a share, write it in the chat, or if anyone has a question before we go on to the next part, which will be interesting because the next part is our obstacles around it. Whoops, I just lost my Zoom. Now there I am. Okay. Okay. Oh, I did make the other Linda a co-host. So let me, Linda on the team, let me make you a co-host. So just noticing now, if you don't have any questions, we have a big group, so I'm having a little bit of a problem. Oh, there we are. I found you, Linda. Make co-host. Okay. So I'm just reading the chat to see if any questions. My boundaries wouldn't let me to experience this landscape. Okay. So use your conscious mind to imagine if it was hard to use like your creative mind, use your conscious mind. Think of a place you love in this world and just know you have that resource. And like, it could be your favorite restaurant. It could be your favorite chair in your home. It could be a garden. It can be anything you want it to be that you know in this reality, nothing out there wild, just really practical and grounded. And thank you for sharing that with us, because that's really important. So when we find a goal or an intention, and especially something that really matters to us, that is going to take some degree of our energy and care to make a priority to protect, it's really natural for some obstacles to show up. So obstacles can, and it's healthy and good to prepare yourself for some obstacles. So let's look at what obstacles, how they might show up. They might show up as thoughts that distract you. These thoughts could be thoughts of fear or excuses or regret or guilt. I should have done this earlier. It's too late. I'm not good enough. We all know those thoughts, right? And just notice how those thoughts are obstacles to honoring what you're protecting and creating healthy boundaries for. We don't have to do anything with them right now. We're just observing. Feelings. Let's look at feelings around setting these boundaries. Are there any feelings that show up that some people who are real givers can sometimes feel like, oh no, if I set a boundary, then I'm not good in some way. Like I'm not loving enough, or I'm not being kind to the person I have to say no to. So just notice if any feelings like that come up. And you're just observing. So you're just noticing. You don't have to do anything with it. Noticing is the healing. There might be an energy to it, like a energy feeling, like, oh, actually other people are more important, so I couldn't really prioritize that. And just be aware, or other parts of my life are more important, or my bank account is more important, or my whatever it is more important. Just notice. And if you want to, list your obstacles, list what words come up, list what feelings, if you want to. You can just observe them kind of over there, or you can get them down on a piece of paper, but they're staying on the outside. So obstacles are staying on the outside as you notice them and write them down. And then we're going to bring our creativity in. We're going to bring a little lightness and silliness in. Do you guys have like 1 to 3 obstacles written down? So mine is my health, and I have like goals of how much I exercise. And then I have a really kind obstacle that says to me, oh, you've done enough today. Why don't you meditate? Why don't you, do something else? You don't have to do that dance class or go on another walk. Like, come on. So my obstacle has a really nice voice. She's very soothing and kind, but she's an obstacle. So I'm not going to be tricked by her. She's not me. Me is the part of me that wants to protect. So notice, obstacles are not always harsh. We can think of our obstacles now as we put on our creativity hat. We can think of our obstacles as like little characters or animals or friends, and we can make them kind of funny and lighthearted. Like my sweet, kind sounding obstacle, she's very like loungy. She's like a little tiny goddess that lies around. My critical voice obstacle is like a little drill sergeant that points a lot. But I'm making it very small in my imagination. And if you want, draw a little picture of it. Now you can go so far as to think of an antidote for each of your obstacles. Like the little lying down goddess, for me, her antidote is going to be an imaginary cup of coffee. My little drill sergeant guy, I'm gonna just surround him in a bubble of pink love, and love is gonna just make him like relaxed. So what's an antidote you could give to your little obstacles? And remember, you're keeping them little, light, kind of funny. And what's cool about our obstacles is they can kind of be our friends because they're teaching us, they're really helping us. They're helping us identify what takes us away from what we really want the most. And when we're kind to them and we make them funny, we're creative with them, we can also make them, if we want to, totally up to you. Everyone's different. You can talk to them. You can ask your angels or guides right now, or source, whatever your connection is, a rainbow, whatever it is, to come and as an antidote, just take care of that obstacle. And I like to do it in my hands too. Like, okay, obstacles are being taken care of. I'm wrapping them in rainbow taffy, sweet, delicious, and they no longer have to bother me because they're just in this sweetness, dissolving sweetness of candy. I recently ate a marshmallow that was like rainbow colored. I never have eaten anything like that before, but it just dissolved. And so I'm using that sensory memory to wrap my little teacher friend obstacles in and let them dissolve in sweetness. Okay. And that's your creative mind doing that. It impacts you at a very interesting level. So now let's go to what we're protecting. So did you draw it? Do you want to draw it? So just make a circle and put a word that you're protecting in the middle. Can you hear me? And then begin to imagine, and you can close your eyes and go back to your wonderful place for resources. Maybe you close your eyes and just take a nice full deep breath before you imagine, letting everything relax as you exhale. And then begin to see or feel or know or get words about the activities that you do that support the special thing you're creating a boundary around. What is it related to? Is it related to people, time, activities, a way you feel? And surround that circle with those ideas, whether they're words or images. And for each one you draw, write down, take a lovely breath, inhale and exhale with real intention, and honor that activity or that thought or that visual you have of what you do in relation to your priority. Like if it's a relationship, maybe you see yourself with that person having some kind of enjoyable time together. If it's your project, maybe you see the actions you take to create the project. And so just taking your time to fill out whether you're just thinking about it or drawing it or writing it. It's up to you. And after you get an action, take a deep breath with it, feel into it. It's kind of like a moment of celebration. Oh yeah, I want to do that thing. Oh, and there's another thing I want to do. Yep. Ooh, I can see that. Or I feel that. Or, oh, I know that if I really had this safe boundary, I would be honoring that activity. Okay, so next we're going to do really, really cool part of our experience. Sorry, my throat's a little rough today. So we've got our circle with what we're prioritizing. We've got the actions around it. Now I want you to bring back that sense of your bubble of light around you. And in this bubble of light, allow yourself to imagine protectors that guard your most important thing. Now you can be as creative as you'd like. These protectors could be feelings like self-love or romantic love or healthy communication. These protectors could be more metaphorical, like I'm drawing on what others have told me, chess pieces, a beautiful fence, gorgeous rocks that surround, like boulders, magical boulders of protection. They could be elements like a water fairy or a waterfall or a river. They could be fierce like a wolf. So imagining your protectors all around you right now. They're surrounding what you're prioritizing, and they're surrounding you in this bubble of light. And if you want, draw them, write them on your piece of paper. Okay, you're doing this in the way that connects to you the most. And I want you to get to know your protectors today. So if a protector is an emotion or a value, like trust or peace, endurance, hustle, creativity, whatever it is, see if you can make it even more personable to you. And see if you want to tell it anything or it wants to tell you something. Like what if a protector were a dragon? The dragon might want to show you or tell you something. Or a seashell, and you put that seashell up to your ear and you hear the sound of the ocean. Or a fairy. Whatever the protector is, let it whisper to you. Listen to its essence. And if you're more visual, draw something around it. Give it, if you have colors, give it a color. Use your imagination to give it a color. Or give it a quality. Maybe you thought of a wolf, give it a quality. What's the quality of the wolf? Is she a fierce wolf? Is she a loving wolf? Is she kind of a wolf dog puppy? Okay. And move on to more of your protectors. If you've gotten only like 2, challenge yourself. I want you to have 4 at least. 4 protectors. And imagine them taking a position around your body. You choose the positions. Maybe you have 8. I don't know how many protectors you have, but you get to have as many as you want. But at least 4, thinking of the directions on a compass. North, south, east, west. Or thinking of the beginnings of the lines to kind of make a, like if you had southeast, northeast, southwest, you know what I mean? You can put them wherever you want them to be around you. Maybe one in front, one behind, one above, one below. Place your protectors around you. And let yourself fill with a feeling of the protector's vibes, how they make you feel. So you don't have to be fiercely guarded because your protector is. So does that let you relax? Does that let you feel peaceful, productive, focused? Notice how they've got your back so you don't have to be like a way you don't want to be. Your protector handles that. You get to be yourself. So, like, I have a really fierce wolf protector. She does all of the hard work. I get to be a lot more soft. She's hard and fierce. And when you're ready, thank your protectors. See what it's like to kind of really give them appreciation and let them give to you. Let them give you a gift or a word, an acknowledgement. Maybe they bow to you. They love to be of service to you. And and actually before they totally leave, call them back in. We're going to ask them if they want to show you any way that they're going to actively protect your goal or intention. They may they may have something they want to show you. So let them show you. Like something gets in your way, which of your protectors is going to step in and say, "Nope, I've got this planned." Or I'm going to surround that with a magical thing so that you can focus. What's it like? Really let your creative mind go and let your protectors show you how they will take care of things. And these protectors are always there for you. They're always on call. You can ask them to come in at any time. So if you're getting distracted, if you're procrastinating, instead of arguing with yourself, just invite one of these protectors in. And this is the way we can use our unconscious, our subconscious, our creative mind to really, really assist us instead of fighting with an action item. And next, we're going to work with our communications. So again, bowing to your protectors, let them bow to you. They have helped so much. You know that they're there as a resource anytime. And let's focus for a moment on our throat center. You might want to put your hand on your throat. Just breathing and feeling into the throat center, filling it with a kind of blue light or blue quality of some kind, or another color if something else feels more intuitively right for you. And I like to make a little swirling pattern, like I'm imagining a spiral or a shape there that's healing in my throat center. Feels really good. Actually, my throat needs this a lot today, so hopefully it feels good for you too. And just being with the throat center and an energy level is there to help us hear and listen as well as to share. It helps us speak our truth and it helps us know our truth, know what we want, know what we need. It has a lot of power there. And with this power comes the ability to speak truth through no and yes statements. Many of us who feel we're weak in the area of healthy boundaries, one of the things that stops us is we don't want to say no to anything. So we're going to practice saying no in a really healthy, loving, empowered way. Clear no's. So just imagine yourself right now voicing a clear, loving, healthy no to any excuse or person or something that is in the way of your high quality intention, what you're protecting. And maybe it's just a clear no. Maybe you imagine saying, no, I won't be able to, or sorry, I'm not available, or I'll have to decline. No excuses, no buts, no maybe next time, just a clear no. But the clear no is coming from healthy power and love. It's not coming from anger or fear or frustration or overwhelm. It's just a clear no. It might even have like a sound to it, like a crystal clarity inside as you feel into that no. So give yourself another 10 seconds to do it. Just saying no and seeing how you might voice that. No, I can't. No, thanks. I'll need to decline. Okay, was it hard to imagine? Was it hard to say a no? Write it down in the chat. I want to know. I want to know if a no was hard or easy. Okay, no one's writing. Hard. Yes, it was hard. Okay. At first it was hard, but it became more comfortable. Normal, easy. No, not normally, but today was easy, not hard. And so like a quick little tip, if you know, you have to say no. Focus on your throat a little first on that color blue and call in your protector. And this is an unusual way to empower yourself, but it really can help. Okay, so now we're going to, and by the way, this next part might be more for someone in your life that you're going to teach them than it is for you. I don't know, but I'm kind of guessing it might be. So we're going to play a little game that helps make it even easier. So our whole session today, our whole workshop made it easier to say a no, to protect what is important to you. But sometimes in daily life, we need a reminder. So we play this game with ourselves. Imagine a neighbor knocks on your door. So close your eyes, and I don't know where you live, but you know where you live. You know if you have faraway neighbors, close neighbors. Anyways, they knock at your door. You open the door, and your neighbor is there, and they say, "Oh, I've got to borrow your home to throw the biggest party I've ever had in my life this Saturday, okay?" Now say your no. No excuses, nothing, just say no. Hopefully that was pretty easy. Okay, do it one more time. Imagine, we're going to repeat it. Close your eyes if it's comfortable for you. Imagine your neighbor knocking at your door. Maybe it's a different neighbor, it doesn't matter. You open the door and they're like, so this Saturday, biggest party of my life, rock band, petting zoo, food fight. Can I use your home? Say no. And feel the clarity of that no. Okay, good job. Now we're going to soften it a little bit, a little more realistic. Imagine something first that you would never share with any friend of yours. Maybe it's your romantic partner. Maybe it's your kid. Maybe it's your bank account. Maybe it's your car. I don't know. Whatever it is, something you would not share, your business. And your friend asks you, could I have your, and they're asking for that thing you would never share. Now say no with firm clarity. At the same time, feel love in your heart for what you care about that you would not share. And notice how this no is helping everyone involved. This no is a teacher, a friend, a protector. It helps all those involved. And if you'd like, take it a little more realistic now. A little more realistic. What is an actual typical example in your life of someone asking you for something you need to say no to? And if you want, write it in the chat so we get an idea of what that is. Borrow my car maybe, or something else. Time, money, energy. Someone wanting to spend time together that I don't want to see. I'm sure many people can relate to that. Help with things that it doesn't feel right for you to do. And now, again, close your eyes if it helps, go inside, feel the blue in your throat. Call in a protector if you wish. You've got all these tools. And just imagine yourself with real love, knowing that this creates clarity and health in the relationship. Say no, simply. And notice how your no can also be received by the other person. And notice how even if in the beginning the friend or acquaintance might be surprised because maybe you've always said yes in the past, they're learning, just like you're learning. We're all learning. Okay, how was that for you guys? Does anyone want to share? I'm just checking what's next yeah, this is a time for us to share now. So anyone want to raise their hand and share about your protectors or anything at all? Jana, hi.
Hello, Magdalene.
Hello, good to see you again.
Yes, been a long time.
It has, yeah.
Um, this is a wonderful exercise. I feel really great with it. I wonder, I could be just imagining it, but I wonder how effective it would be because it's not the tone we use in our family.
Mm-hmm.
And so I, it's my imagination. But I imagine that it's going to get argument and not compliance.
So imagine yourself right now with that no and the argument or the comeback that comes, and ground yourself even a little more into earth and surround yourself with that bubble of light. And just notice how you want to be with whatever is coming to you that is in reaction. Do you want to just have a simple statement like, I hear you? This is still how I'm proceeding, or something else? How would you imagine yourself?
I would need to, I would probably need to repeat it and, like you say, just stay grounded and stay certain. It would be kind of a learning experience. It would be a very new experience for
Yeah,
all.
yeah. And saying no, like especially if it's about your time or your money or your input in some way with a family member, especially, we don't want to cut off communication with that person. So we can say, I'm happy to hear you. And this is what I need to do right now. But you're not listening to them.
Right.
And you might need to remind them of your caring for them, your love. It's going to be different with each person, but as a preparation, imagine your reaction and how it comes from a really loving place. as you say the no. And one thing I like to think, like with people that I'm close to, is that I'm setting an example that I'm inviting them to also have healthy boundaries with me. It's a two-way street. If I can say no, they can also say no, and we can still love each other. You know?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully that helped.
Yes, yes, I feel like I have to be an example, like you said, be an
Yeah.
example
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
a calm and loving way.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. All right. Good to see you.
I can't wait to try it.
Good. Yeah. Write to me. Tell me how it goes. And Bernadette, hi.
Hello. Okay, so my boundary is that my family has having a party and then I know they intentionally not to invite me and then some of the family said, "Oh, maybe they forget you, so just come." And so I said I have to say no because to protect myself because since I was not intentionally invited, they really don't want me to be there.
Okay. And you imagine saying that no?
Yeah,
And how does it resonate with you? What's you
I
feel
feel better.
grounded? You feel better? Good.
Mhm.
And tell me, what is the thing you're protecting? What,
Uh,
like, if we go to that part of the exercise, do you want to share?
I'm protecting myself, my dignity.
Oh, okay. So when you did the drawing, it's you. It's your dignity in the middle.
Yes, yes.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing, Bernadette. And I
Thank
love
you.
you in red. You look wonderful.
Thank you.
And Jeffrey, it has been a while. How are you?
Unmute.
Oh, wait, you just muted yourself. Hold on. Hold on. We don't hear you. There we go. We're gonna unmute again.
Unmute. It's been years.
Yeah, I know. How are you doing?
Oh Lord. Well, I'm good now. I mean,
Good.
yeah. If you'd have caught me a couple of years ago, you'd say, that old boy ain't got much time left. So, oh Lord.
Well,
But
now you're glowing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. But now I broke out my old lions, tigers, and bears.
Those were your protectors. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Lions,
yeah,
tigers, and bears. Oh my. Was there an
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I threw the dolphin in there in case I wanted to go in the water. So
Oh, that's really good. A dolphin. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
they always
Yes.
be.
I like it in case you wanted to go underwater. I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's been good.
You got your land, your ocean. Do you have an air animal? Maybe you want an air one too.
You know, I feed. I got about 40 cardinals I feed every morning and evening,
Wow. Wow.
and they some of them almost take the food out of my hand.
Wow. So you've got your animal friends already there in real life.
Yeah, yeah, and
That's beautiful.
oh, they're funny too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
they're definitely funny. But meditating, like you just have to get rid of all the stuff.
Interesting. Yeah.
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 You talking about boundaries. I mean, there's a lot of people like to get inside your boundaries.
That's
But
true.
I mean, you can forgive them, but you just can't let them back in.
Right. Right. So that's that loving boundary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah. I know that one. There's many times that I send someone love while also creating a boundary. Yeah.
yeah, you can forgive, but you don't have to, you don't have to forget, but you have to forgive.
Yeah, it definitely, and what I like to tell people is they do what they need to do. Some people are not at the stage of for whatever reason, forgiveness is not the goal for them, but acceptance is often really empowering. And
Yeah, yeah.
one image, tell me, maybe yours is a cardinal or a dolphin. I have an image when someone's sending me, or I'm feeling whatever, some energy that's not going to help my meditation or my project or my health or whatever it is. I've got a really funny, like a kind of like a love boat with uh wings, and I send that energy back in that love boat with wings. But we can all make a kind of boundary protector like that that can actually fly things away from us as a form of help too.
Well, I like that a while ago when you did the cross your arms thing.
Oh yeah, using the body, that yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
But
can
you
help.
know, when you're talking to people standing up and somebody crosses their arms, that says, well, I need to back up a little bit. Or,
Yep, it's a
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
natural communication. Yep.
Or talk to the hand.
Yep. We
Yeah,
all
yeah.
have those things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good to be aware of that stuff. Yeah. And also some people are a little more like they might seem open, but not really. And so that's okay too. I like to let myself kind of imagine being them for a moment and then accept where they're at with that, you know? So.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You got your own playpen. You don't have to let everybody in.
You've got great metaphors, Jeffrey. I miss your metaphors. I love them.
Yeah.
All right. You roll your eyes, but it's true. You're a natural storyteller.
Uh,
Okay. It's good
I,
to
I,
see
I,
you.
I enjoy it.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right.
I
Be
appreciate
well.
y'all. Yeah. Appreciate
Okay.
y'all. Yeah.
Absolutely. Talk soon.
Yeah.
And Karen, hello.
Hi, Magdalene. I think I kind of lost my question. But I'll say this. I thought it was really interesting. I got some results back from I always get blood work every year from my doctor. And
Mhm.
this year, nothing bad, but like my kidneys are not happy. And so last night I was like, oh man, I don't like that. Like it bothers me when I get a result back that I'm
Right.
like, so I started like when I was thinking about what I wanted to do, I was like, all right, my kidneys need some help, whatever. But I noticed that where I would like the obstacles and stuff like that is I'm like, because some of my tests showed up like that I was dehydrated. But I'm like, of course I'm dehydrated because it annoys me to drink water because I don't like water. And then it annoys me that I drink water and then I have to go to the bathroom all the time. So then I don't want to go to the bathroom all the time. So I started this, like when I got to the obstacles, I'm like, yeah, no, it brought up my selfishness and my lazy, that I'm really lazy like that and selfish like that. And then I started I'm like, well, if I drink water, and I don't know why, but water has to be really cold for me to drink. I can't do room temperature, or like even 2 ice cubes. I have to have a lot. But I stopped all of a sudden. I noticed that I stopped at creativity. I couldn't get past creativity. I'm like, how would I make this fun? I'm going to have to go to the bathroom all the time. That's not fun. And then I couldn't get into I stopped at protectors. So I think what I was
Can we go back first?
Yeah.
'Cause I want to stay with, it's really interesting to me. And like one thing is just to put on that, oh, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
What can you find really interesting about this? So like the priority, like let's say it's your kidney health or your health.
Mhm.
And then the obstacles are also your physical, your body too. Its
Mhm.
needs, it wants cold water, it doesn't want to have to go to the bathroom too much. And so there's a very interesting relationship there.
Mhm.
And so to begin just going, oh, isn't this interesting? And then you're already starting to change it with your attitude towards it.
Mhm.
And so one thing I could see doing is going like, all right, so I got to make more friends between my healthy kidneys, my drinking, and and whatever it is, my emotions around my body or going to the bathroom or whatever. Like, I'm going to make all these guys friends.
Mm. Yeah, that's cool.
And that's just a
Mhm.
slightly different approach
Mm-hmm.
because it's more like, because it's all in you, it's a little more of an integrative approach.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be why certain parts of that, not all processes are right for everything we're protecting. This
Mhm.
one, because it's so internal, it might be more of one of making friends. And I love that you're sharing this. Will you be able to be at Tuesday's class?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna put some thought into like which process to give you specifically for you, but I'll talk about if this shows up for someone too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great place to start. Just even making friends,
Yeah.
like going to the bathroom and
Yeah. Yeah. And one way to help them make friends is to think they all share the same intent. So it could be like if you asked each of them what their highest intent for you is, like not wanting to go to the bathroom might want you to stay focused on what you're doing. Needing cold water might want you to feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you get to a point where like, wow, they all want something good for me, or they all want me to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And so then recognizing, oh, wow, they all want me to feel good. That's actually something that unites them.
Yeah. And I'll just leave it here because I know there's other questions and we'll talk about it later. But like that thought came to me of like, oh, drinking water feel good. Oh, great. If I feel good, then what do I have to go do? Then what do I have to go do?
Oh,
So I
that's
thought about that
interesting too.
not in, but I was like, no, don't pay attention to that. So yeah.
That seems like an obstacle that needs to be
Yeah.
supported and it
Yep.
needs to get an antidote. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. All right, so stay with that. Isn't this interesting? And how do I find the commonality that they all want something good for me?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. All
Thank
right,
you.
perfect. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. That was like really good share. Okay, Sonia, hi.
Hey, so I have had to work a whole lot on boundaries in my adult life because I was raised with none whatsoever. And a lot of conditioning around being a helper and a savior and taking care of other people at your own expense.
Yeah.
And so I have created healthy boundaries in my work life, with my kid, with people that I really care about. And ironically, where I am having the most difficulty is with people that I don't really care about. Right. So
Yeah.
I've, the last couple of years I've been trying to date again. And so this might be somebody I have no relationship with whatsoever. Right. Or
Yeah.
somebody that you're checking out like, hey, do we want to become friends? And then the answer is no, actually, I don't. Right. Like there are so many other people or things that I would rather give time to. And
Right.
so I just couldn't get there. I couldn't get to the antidote. And because I got stuck on the antidote.
So what are you protecting? What is the thing you're protecting? Is it your time? Is it your
It's my
energy?
time, like my heart, my energy of
Mm-hmm.
if I'm giving my time and self to one thing, I am automatically taking it away and not available for something else. And so I want to give it to the things that
Right.
deserve
So
it.
if you can, what helps this process is to get even more specific about what part of your energy or heart you're protecting. My ability to love, my time with another person that I care about, whatever it is, get very specific. My future romantic partner, that's what you're protecting. Because then it gets easier to see the actual obstacles. Like if it was my future romantic partnership, then every obstacle to that, it makes more sense to address it. Does that make sense?
Yes, I mean, I really understand what I'm protecting. It's the not wanting to hurt somebody else's feelings and not saying no without an excuse. Like the neighbor example, absolutely.
Okay.
No, that's not going to work for me.
Right.
But the text of, hey, that was great. When are we going to do it again? Responding back like, actually, no, I don't ever want to do it again. Have a great life, right? Or not explaining that much. Like, how do
Yeah,
you do
yeah.
that kindly, but with no excuses or explanations?
Okay, I'm gonna ask my niece how she does it, and then I'm gonna give you word for word what I recommend, because she's
I would
good at
love
that.
that. She sounds very good.
But another way we can work with it that might give you your natural wording is, what if you were to imagine that this person who's wanting time and energy from you that you're not interested in, what if it wasn't your time and energy? Instead, if it was something else, like a little nibble out of your shoulder, or a favorite thing in your home, what could it be that they're instead taking that?
Something for my kid, for sure.
Okay, okay.
I told her, no, thank you.
Is that easier? That,
I mean, any of it. No, that's not available. I don't have that
yeah, no thanks.
for you.
You know, it's not gonna work for me.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So sometimes we have to trick ourselves and be like, what could this be metaphorically
Yes.
that makes it easy?
Yes. All those metaphors are easy. The actual communication of, no, I never want to see or hear from you again, feels cruel.
Right, because that's too big.
Sure, I get it. but
Right.
just
So
so you
shrink
know,
it down to an
Fine,
easy
so
6 words, like, sorry, I'm not available.
forever.
Well, let them, if they're obnoxious, they say, do you mean forever? They say, I'm not interested in, it wasn't the right chemistry for me. That's a typical one. It wasn't the right chemistry for me.
Right.
You know, I'm reserving my time and energy for the, you know, for other things. So you don't have to go that far. Just, it wasn't the right chemistry for me.
Right.
People, there are standard things, but the thing is, make it short, no excuses, and you don't have to make it so big. If a person doesn't get it when you say it in a short sentence, then they're showing a lack of social intelligence, and you can just, you know,
Right. So
block them.
I don't want to do that again.
Yeah. 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 All right. And we're here rooting for you, okay? All right, beautiful. Thank you. Um, and sometimes it does intensify it a little bit if you're working with a client, for example, and you ask them to think of a bigger metaphor, but it also makes them feel more if there's been a struggle to feel that sort of intrusion from people needing something. The metaphor makes it easier to feel, but it's better if the client comes up with the metaphor, if you can. Like once a coach gave me a metaphor that has stuck with me forever, but it's not one I like. So we have to be mindful of that, you know? Like I actually felt, Sonia, I felt a little bad saying the thing about like taking a chunk out of you. That's a little strong. Make it what you want, okay? Did you have something to say about that?
I was just gonna say that was funny, right? Like
Okay.
taking it to a point of ridiculously
Yeah.
makes it easier. So don't feel bad on my.
Okay, good, good.
That
Okay. Okay. All right, BB, hi.
Oh, hi, Maglie. I think I put my hand up, but I couldn't see me on the screen. Anyway,
Oh, okay. Well, we
I-
see you.
thank you. I wish I were better dressed. However, I have one thing to share and a question.
Mm-hmm.
I am so happy about this class today because recently a friend of mine, we've been friends for over 30 years. I have my friends for a long time.
That's
And
great.
we were talking, and she goes, "Oh, I think it's time for me to come and visit you." And oh my gosh, beautiful, wonderful, brilliant person. However, she complains about her friends who have homes that look like castles, the friend whose cat dish isn't clean enough. And and so I don't know where I got the courage from. I said, "No, I don't think that's a good idea." And she was shocked. And I said, let me explain. Because my house isn't perfect. I have, for example, a stone driveway, and the cement between the stony bits, some have come loose. She would complain about that, and etc. And so I said, my house isn't in a state that you would feel comfortable in. And I was thinking of her happy because I want my
Yeah,
kids.
yeah, yeah. And how did she accept that?
She thought for a while, and she, well, what could she say? She wants me to be her friend.
Oh, good, good. So
Yeah,
you did a good job.
I was feeling not happy. I was thinking, oh my gosh, how could I have said no? But it was my truth. And so thank you for making me feel better about that.
Yes, it's really important. And I've watched myself, my friends struggle with that exact scenario.
Really?
And yeah, and you did a great job. I mean, also anyone else who is up against that and doesn't have that kind of dynamic with a friend, just saying it's not the right time for me,
Yes, yes.
you know?
So that was a boundary. Now here's my question. In a meeting, somebody did something that was, I felt it was bordering on injustice. And injustice is something my body I have to speak up. I did speak up. And do you think that was a kind of boundary setting?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, good.
So truth telling is often a form of a boundary.
Oh, good. Thank you
Do
so
you see
much.
what I mean? If we speak our
Yes.
truth,
Yes,
like
yes,
I like truth as a boundary helper too,
yes.
like a
Okay.
protector.
Yes, thank you, because that was it. And it
Mhm,
was sort of to educate the other people around.
mhm, mhm.
Because if I hadn't said that, then other people may think that was okay to do when it wasn't.
Right,
Right?
exactly.
So
Yeah.
thank you, Magali. Oh God,
Absolutely.
I love
Thank you for sharing with us. This was very helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. And Farah, hi.
Okay, so I come from kind of like the same school as Sonia and Bibi as well. As far as like, I grew up without boundaries, and it was taught that I have to be kind of like a community, like you help others. So I'm from Haiti, and that's kind of like our way of living. So anyways, I learned in my late teens that people will do what is best for them. So instead of like always pleasing people, I have to start doing what is best for me at the end of the day, because no one will really put themselves at a discomfort just to please me. And it's taken me a while to really like set that. But I think once I had children and my time became limited, it was just like very clear to me that no, I can't do this. No, you can't come over because my house
Right.
is a mess and I don't want to clean before and after. I don't have the energy,
Right,
so I'm pretty
right.
good at setting those boundaries. Recently, I got into a conversation with my mom via text. She was supposed to come and help me and didn't come. And I just sent her a text like, hey, why didn't you text me and tell me? And I felt a little gaslit by her by being like, well, did you expect your 67-year-old mom to come in the snow? And I was like, that's not what I said. I said, why didn't you text me? And so it kind of became this thing that where I felt like as I was texting her, my messages went from being, I think, gray to being green. And so I was like, oh my gosh, she like either blocked me or stopped receiving them. And with everything happening with the administration, she works for Head Start. I sent her a text like,
Wow.
are you okay? Is everything
Right,
okay with your
right,
job? Never
right.
heard back from her.
Right.
So this happened the
So
last holiday, which was, I think, MLK. And so
I wonder if we should have a session focused on, well, I don't want to like, I think there are relatives that we might have. I can really connect with what you're sharing, that take our messages of boundaries
mhm,
and they don't easily accept them.
yes.
And that is kind of like the next level, right? That's like
Mhm.
we have to pull out even more tools. But
Yeah.
one tool that I have learned is don't defend. So don't defend yourself. Just say what you need to say, tell your truth, and then you know,
So
if they attack you, try not to defend yourself. Just say, I hear you.
she just went radio silent. I haven't heard from her.
She
in a
went
while.
radio silent. So I wonder if, has she done this before? Do you think this is a tactic of some kind or a hurt? Where do you think
Yes.
it's coming?
Silent treatment is her way of dealing, and that was my way of dealing too until I went to therapy and was taught that, you know, you do it because you want to punish, and that's not a healthy way. If you want time, you can take the time that you need, but then you have to go back and readdress it. Because that's not healthy, you know? So I've learned to communicate. And so
Right.
for me at this point, I'm like, you have to grow up. You're too old to behave that way, especially towards your
And sometimes a person won't grow up, but you can say it for them. You can say, I'm imagining that you needed to take a little time and space, and I respect that.
Mhm.
So you can bring voice to it. I respect that you're taking time and space. It's okay with me, Mom.
Okay.
And then, you know, it's unfortunate that you have to do that and be the more mature one, but sometimes that's what,
Needs to happen.
yeah, yeah. And she will learn. You're being a teacher then.
Yeah, it's tough being the teacher sometimes.
It really is. I know it really is. Yeah, yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you. And I mean, many people who are in our community, I feel like that is one's role in some way in their relationships. Like there's the growth and there's the sharing of that. And it has that effect. It does keep growing. Okay, Ivana. Hi.
Hello, everyone. This is really wonderful to hear everyone, and I equally have boundaries non-defined towards other people. But my question was more like when I don't have it defined with myself, and I posted in the chat like, how do I put a boundaries? Oh, bless you.
So boundaries with yourself.
Around my sleep.
Okay. Yep.
Around like that was in my bubble, which is really funny because my drawing was almost identical as when I turned the camera and this background came on with stars and I don't know if that's so funny. So yeah, like around my sleep, around the time that I want to carve out for like studying or things like that.
Yeah.
And I have it in my calendar. I have everything, and
Yeah.
I just myself. This is the problem.
So again, we could do that integration work. So what are you doing for yourself instead of sleep? What is the obstacle that shows up? I need to learn more. I need to feel some entertainment. I need what shows up for you? You need a little bit more of that time for yourself.
Yes, so it's sometimes I'm just too tired to, you know, I would just want to relax, and then like next thing I'm on the couch and just trying to do something mindless, or I'm not going to bed because I really need to finish cleaning the kitchen,
Okay.
and
Okay.
and all the Tupperware from the kids' school, and like it's just
Yeah.
endless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's look at how all those things share a common purpose for you. You want to have things well organized, or you want to relax in a certain way. And what do those have in common with getting the sleep you want?
I know it's all about the time. I am
But
not good
sleep
at
also cares
timing.
for you, right? Sleep is a form
Yeah,
of caring for you.
yeah,
It's a form of relaxation. It's even a form of organization. Because when you sleep, your unconscious is organizing events. Your sleep, I wear a Fitbit mostly for my sleep. I love seeing how much deep sleep I got, how much REM sleep, how much light sleep, how many hours I was awake. And so sleep has its own organization system for your body. So you could find different ways to find commonality between those things. I organize, I relax, I sleep. They all have something they're doing for you. And so from there, if like your phone gives you a little alarm saying it's time to start getting ready for bed, does it do that? Do you set some kind of reminder?
Yeah, 11:45. Sorry, 10:45. It comes on for the past 2 years.
So it could be that you need a reminder at half an hour earlier to know that you need to take care of the things and remember, this is like my good sleep. I'm going to take care of the kitchen, or I'm going to give myself this activity, and it's not it. I don't know how I'm putting this correctly, but it's like you're seeing the positive intention. You can use time to help you, like setting a reminder half an hour before sleep.
Before the reminder.
Yeah.
The reminder.
Yeah. To take care of those things, whether it's relaxation or organization, but also notice their commonality with sleep.
Thank you.
And that's where we're creating an unconscious integration between the parts of us that are in conflict, because this is about you and conflicts within yourself. So that's where it's very important to create integration. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, absolutely. Lisa, hello. Good to see you.
Hi, Magali. Thank you so much for this. This was so beautiful. It was very difficult at first to pick what I was going to prioritize. There were so many things just kind of flooding, and then finally I put, and it's a little bit redundant, but prioritizing self as my priority. and then everything came together. It was like everything around me was saying, yes, exactly. This is the one that you need to pick. And then so many different things for doing that, like start your business, do energy coaching, all these things, just all these ideas, and they didn't feel overwhelming. They felt lighter because with it came like smile, laugh. Like, what is the core of you? You know, be outside, be in nature. Don't forget that's what you want. And so, and then the thoughts of like, well, when you're happy, your family's happy, because my family is always my concern. And also, if you have these self boundaries, the other boundaries with your family will come because you'll just learn them naturally or work on putting them there. And so these were kind of all the messages that I was getting. And then, yeah, thank you. And it was great. I just love this exercise so much. And I did want to share on your, when you were talking about not putting a metaphor in for someone, I actually did one session of hypnotherapy for someone, and we went back and she talked about a traumatic experience that happened to me in childhood in a way that I never, ever thought about it. And it was actually a little bit like traumatic. And so
you mean
now
the
I have this
hypnotherapist
image
did that?
of
She
it in
wasn't being.
Yeah, because I thought of it in a very innocent, childlike way. She
Yeah.
talked about it in a very adult way,
Yeah,
which
I'm sorry.
put like kind of
Yeah.
changed the picture. So
Yeah.
just reinforcing.
Yeah, we need to be
like, yeah,
careful
that
with our
is really,
metaphors. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Thank
and
you for
using
sharing
their
that.
words.
Yeah. Yeah. And when we're
Asking, but
guiding a
thank you
bigger
so much.
experience, that's why I give a lot of options. Because if we have many people and it's a little bit like leading someone through self-hypnosis, you want them to choose their metaphors, their images, right? As you're leading a
Yes,
group, if you're doing a
absolutely.
meditation. Yeah.
And
Thank you
I
for
feel like
sharing
if
that,
I'm
Lisa.
working with
Yeah.
you and being comfortable. I'm sorry for talking over you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to hear that. That's okay. I know we're almost out of time, and I want to do the closing, but I have Lauren and Lavana. I can't not say hi to you guys. Okay, Lauren, hi.
Hey, Magali, how are you?
Good. It's been a while since I've seen you too.
Yeah, I know. I had to miss a couple weeks live, unfortunately. But I did want to get your thoughts on something. One thing that came up, I feel like I've been getting a little better about boundary setting. I still like really sometimes find myself worried about people being upset with me or hurting people's feelings. And when you said like don't defend, like that to me felt like, oh, that one's really hard because I find that for me, like even more difficult for me than maybe setting an actual boundary is that like I deeply want people to understand me and understand where I'm coming from. I want them to like maybe it's like this thing where I don't want them to see me as the bad guy, or if they understand me more, they're going to be, you know, more accepting of whatever I'm saying. But I've even had it like perceived then to the point where people might feel like I'm trying to get them to see it my way, when really maybe I'm just like overly defending or explaining. So help.
It might be easier if we thought of one person or one time, and then you went to that time and brought in your protectors and ask. This is where we'd ask the unconscious mind, like, show me a different way that I could honor myself and honor them. Sometimes with people who are really close to us, we need to give them an option. Like, I can't do this, but I'd love to do that.
Okay, I like that.
Sometimes with people who are a little more difficult that are close to us, we might need to ask them, would it be okay with you if I shared my why for this, so you know how much I care about you? And so then if they're saying, yes, share with me, they can't really accuse you of anything, right? Because they've agreed to that. And often I find if someone's a little more difficult somehow, getting that permission from them really helps.
Yeah, thank you. That's really helpful.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, we can keep working on that too in class. Okay. All right. Okay, guys, I want to take a little time for a closing actually, because we had so many great questions. I just didn't do that. And I want to honor the ending process. So just for a few minutes, guys, let's just get settled back in ourselves. Take some nice full breath, honoring your own rhythm of breathing, and bring back that sense of that wonderful place you first thought of. Imagine your protectors there in that wonderful place in nature. And as you breathe, consider how they're always there for you. Your protectors are there to help you find the wise words you want to share. Your protectors are there for you to feel the energy of your love for what it is you're protecting. That might be an energy that feels light and playful. That might be an energy that feels creative or excited. Just honoring that energy you feel for what you're protecting, what you love, what you care about, what you're prioritizing. And let's take a moment just to feel that inner brightness as we again recognize what we have focused on as being the most important thing for now that we're protecting, that we're creating healthy boundaries around. Let that brighten up even more. Feel it very, very brightly, either in your hands or in your body or in front of you or next to you. And in that brightness, let yourself go to a future you. And this future you has their boundaries so clear, so loving and bright and aligned. And knowing that you're in this full, clear purpose, you know exactly what matters most for you. And you know this in a very loving, compassionate way for all those involved. As you take 3 really nice full breaths, feel an internal yes inside. It might come with a smile. It might come with a grounded, present quality, or some other way that you give yourself that recognition. Just as you breathe and feel that inner alignment with your own truth, your own needs, the thing that you have prioritized today and worked to create these beautiful, healthy boundaries for. Really honoring yourself for this, honoring this action, this activity, your own wellness, your own kindness. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. And you guys did amazing. So, whenever we do a kind of big process like that, it's good to just like take some notes for yourself, maybe take a walk or go outside and get some fresh air or look outside if it's cold out. And I really hope that this was helpful and that you feel empowered to help others with this process too. Okay, guys, be well, and I will see you soon. There will be meditation on Monday also. Okay, take care. And I think I'm going to tie something in with this theme on Monday. So it'll be a continuation. All right, take care, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend.